Donald Topp is a Wisconsin-based pop artist, and he's also the #1 selling artist here at the David Leonardis Gallery in Chicago. Recently, we sold our 868th piece in 8 years. They are literally flying out the door. With the Cartoon Tattoo Hipster Girl series, he says that the background images are the pressures on women. So it's really poignant. People seem to get it. They are edition of 10 or less, and he varies the background images and the hand paintings, so each one is unique. They look even better in your house. Hello and welcome to Chit Chat with David Leonardis. We are here with Donald Topp. It's our second interview. Donald is, he's such an amazing artist, and I personally enjoy offering, exhibiting, talking to, and selling Donald's art. I talk to people about the superpowers of art and how collecting art gives you superpowers. It increases your cognitive development, your empathy, your social standing, your sense of identity. There are health benefits to collecting art, and you have that critical mass of art, and you basically up your game. And I see people collecting Donald's art, and it has that effect on them. And whenever I mention that the artist says the background images are the pressures on women, and more often than not, I'm saying that to women collectors, and there's always that audible sound of agreement. And I basically never have anyone in the gallery commenting that Donald was a white man and his take on the art is any less valuable than a female's. But let's face it, I have heard that from other people. And so Donald, how do you feel about that? You're a white man from Wisconsin, a wife, a daughter, a son, you're an artist, you're prolific, and you make this grand statement about the pressures on women and how you're drawing that to the forefront in your art. What do you have to say about that, or anyone really who might criticize you for being a white man talking about this subject and making art that's flying out the door on this subject?
Well, it's a tough question. I never really thought of it that way. I was just making art because, as how I view it, as I'm the artist, I see myself as an observer of the world around me. Not so much a participant, but I observe, I see things, and I interpret that, and then I express that through my artwork. And yes, I do that with the women advertisements and social pressures of the roles that they're supposed to be playing, or gender roles. I also do it with men as well. It's just happening to tattoo ones that are the more popular ones. So again, I'm a business person on top of it all. I mean, that sometimes get lost when I'm an artist. Don't like to say it, it's not really sexy, but you also have to be a business person. So people like it, I like doing that, what I'm doing, and so I do that. I still do the other stuff, like men pressure and stuff like that, bodybuilding, having reflective chest and all that garbage. With the other stuff I do, but the tattoo series and the one that kind of strikes a nerve and people enjoy it, they understand what I'm saying, get it. I have humor behind it, and it's funny. I think it's funny, I know people think it's funny, that's fine. Again, anytime you got something to say that's not, politically perfect, somebody might take a different view of it, which is fine, you have every right to do so, but I ain't gonna stop. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. The best thing to do is don't like it, don't like it.
Well, that's true. That you say that about business, and absolutely. My mother is an artist. My father is a businessman. And while I do make some art, my Long Hair Dude series, the Little Bits of Wisdom series, my greater talent is art businessman. And I enjoy collecting art myself. And I collect art from men artists, women artists. I do collect more art from men artists. I have a really good relationship with my mother, who's an artist, and so I think I'm trying to draw a little bit more from the men artists that I need to interact with and get their take on it and that influence. It's interesting though that people could comment, oh, you're a white male, why do you get to talk about pressures on women? And I think it's because you're a person myself. And you talk about being politically correct, that's not like my favorite thing to hang out and be. I like to just be, and then if people want to talk about it, they can talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I have in my life that I express for them. They talk to me about the issues we talk about, sitting around the bar, and we talk about this and that. You know? I'm interpreting what I'm seeing and hearing from the people around me, and then I just have the ability to express it, right? And that's what all I'm doing. I'm just expressing what I'm hearing and how I feel too, right? The whole idea of my artwork has always been about, conforming. Like, your path is chosen for you, which is not. You need to choose your path. Unfortunately, there's the whatever authority figures, whatever you want to put in that bound, I can't think of what I'm looking for, but wherever you want to put in front of you that stop you from doing what you want to be, because they have a preconceived notion of this is what you should be, A, B, and C. See who you want to be, right? At least live your life as it's your own life. It doesn't crap what people think on it. So that's always been my general theme of all my artwork is, I don't care what your expectations are, I live my life as I see fit. And then sometimes, that crosses people's toes. So.
Well, I just like to talk about it a little bit. I'm always talking about art, and I'm interested in art. And the main thing is with art is you do what you like, and you accept what other people like, or you don't accept it. And that's just really your choice. But I don't make my choices built on other people's choices. I make them the choices that are best for me. And that's how I do it. So I enjoy talking about this, and it's a great time here with Donald Topp. And we're going to get to another segment, and we'll see you in a minute. People like to ask me how I got into the art business. And I walked into the Mars Gallery in 1989 and simply wanted to buy more art than I could afford. And so I wound up getting a job there, and 8 months later I decided to break out onto my own. I bought a Peter Mars piece the very first day, and over 30 years later I'm still buying Peter Mars art. He's an artist that's been making art for 40 years and has done work for the Elvis Foundation, Muhammad Ali, Mustang, Shelby, and he has that exact appeal of the pop artist that you're looking for in your collection. So I recommend that you come to the David Leonardis Gallery and choose from one of our over 200 Peter Mars originals that we have available. They look a lot better in your house. Christopher Makos is the most modern photographer in America is a quote that Andy Warhol gave. I first met Christopher Makos in the 1990s, and I purchased immediately an altered image photograph of Andy Warhol in drag. Christopher told me that was the best purchase that I'd ever made in my life, and that he continued to help me, and his big comment was, "Ratchet up a notch, darling." And so that's sort of the motto that we hold here at the David Leonardis Gallery years later, that influence from Christopher Makos. He's flying around with Calvin Klein and the gang and doing shows internationally. And right here at the David Leonardis Gallery, Chicago, we are lucky to have original silver gelatin photographs of Christopher Makos. Give me a call, they look a lot better in your house. All right, we are back here with Donald Topp again. So, Donald, I remember getting a call, or I think I got a call and then an email from you, and I saw your art and I was like, wow, this is so visual. I love pop art. I love contemporary art, folk art, photography, but pop art really is this recurring theme. It's the pop art makes you happy. The contemporary art sort of makes you think. The folk art is very honest, and photography is sort of that moment in time. And then I tend to like the popular culture moments in time, on celebrities and rock and roll moments. And then your art kind of really, it has all of that. I'd say your art is very honest. You're very honest about the pressures on women and putting it in there. Really, that Donald Topp art has all of it. How did you find me, and how do you feel now, 8 years later, having sold 870 pieces of art through the David Leonardis gallery?
I feel very fortunate that we struck up this relationship. I mean, it's been beneficial for both of us.
Absolutely.
How I came across it was I have a good friend, Monica, who lived in Chicago, and I was struggling getting any feedback from anything in the Chicago area. Because obviously I live in the Madison, Milwaukee area, and it's like, it's a tough business up here in Wisconsin. And she just gave me your name, your number, and I cold called you, and then I sent you the email. I think with that day you called me. I remember I was in bed.
Okay.
And then I can't remember if I got the call or not. I was emailing you back and forth. And then we finally spoke in my studio space, and that was about 8 years ago. So, and then, yeah, it's been, I think, a great partnership.
I remember your art started selling really fast. Like the first day I got the cartoon tattoo hipster girls along with icon prints, we sold Ariel. And it was like the very first day, and it was right around my birthday, so it's always easy for me to kind of know how many days and that we've been selling the art. And but it didn't take too long, and all of a sudden we were kind of selling out. And I remember reaching out to you and saying, "Hey, I need some more art." And it didn't really take you too long to really start to kick it into that, like, you know, third and then up into the fourth gear.
Yeah, you know, you're always looking for the opportunity, and so my idea is that if the opportunity's there, you gotta take it. So, yeah, so basically I just devoted all my extra time to making artwork. I was doing it already, but now I have a purpose. I have an avenue to sell my art that I was hoping for. You know, everybody's looking for that 2 or 3 galleries that would just really support you. So, again, you had an opportunity. It was up to you to take advantage of it, and that's what I did.
Who are the next cartoon tattoo hipster girls that you'll be working on?
Well, I've been trying to work on Madame Medusa. I've had that drawing on for a while. I had it on board and trying to paint it.
And who is she? Where's she from?
She is from The Rescuers.
Okay.
She's the villain where she stuffs Penny down the well to get, they call it the devil's eye diamond. And so it's more of an obscure cartoon movie, but she does have a following. And I like doing villains because I've always kind of liked villains better than the heroines. So, and just doing my thing with her, and you know, maybe have some other. I have a list, and then I talk to with my wife and see if she doesn't know it, then I pass on.
Right on. Well, I'm always myself offering you a few of my suggestions of the characters that sell out, since you're only making, you know, 6 to 11 is kind of the range that I've seen in the hipster girls, and a lot of them sell out pretty darn quickly, and I'm always kind of encouraging you to do the more popular ones. So really interesting that you have this new character that and I remember when I had to begin to learn about Ariel. And it's funny because this is now 8 years ago, and I didn't know who Ariel was, and The Little Mermaid, and now I know quite a bit about it. And the collectors tell me, oh, I lost my voice, and they had to, the collectors talk about how they relate to Ariel like that. All right, well, I'm just enjoying speaking with Donald, and so we're going to continue to speak with Donald, and we will see you in a minute. Matt Lamb III was a third-generation funeral home director. He worked very hard, and he was, as I like to say, Batman rich. Well, the rich man fell sick, and he was fearing his mortality, thought he might become one of his own customers, and so he pledged, as many of these patriarchal artists who make thousands of pieces of art do, he pledged that he would make art full-time if only the Lord would save him. Turns out he had mono. And so when you're Batman rich, you can make 40,000 pieces of art. Matt Lamb had studios in Wisconsin, Chicago, Florida, Ireland. At one point, Matt Lamb flew me in a giant entourage to Dubai to rock with the billionaires and the international royalty. And I've done several interviews with some of those people, which are fantastic shoots, and I learned so much from Matt Lamb, and also that I was in the right place at the right time, and I personally recently bought 235 Matt Lamb paintings from a collection. And I've done this a couple of times now. We have 400 Matt Lambs here at the David Leonardis Gallery, which is 1% of the output of the artist. And I'm not even going to tell you what they were charging for the paintings in Dubai to the absolute ruler and the international royalty gang, but let's just say you can afford the art now. So I'm here to help you collect Matt Lamb art, and it's awesome. It's in all different sizes. People love it. You're going to love it. Give me a call and I will turn you into an art collector. Back here with Donald Topp, and we're talking about the cartoon tattoo hipster girls. And a lot of times, Donald, the people will come in and they'll say, oh, you have all the Disney princesses. And of course there are a lot of Disney princesses, but also some of them are other characters that are not from Disney. And of course, Ariel is the number one most popular. Of course, she's Disney princess. But number two is Velma. And of course, Scooby-Doo, that wasn't Disney. And it's really interesting that you have, you don't just leave it on Disney, and you find all these other different characters. And then I heard you saying that you like the sort of the evil characters. And if you see the wall we have of the hipster girls, I keep the evil ones on the bottom because that's not like my 100% favorite thing. As an art dealer, I get to choose the art that I sell. I enjoy your art. I enjoy being challenged even by the eviler characters and whatnot. The number one most evil character that you do, that in my opinion, is Maleficent. And the character, the art, has this look, and I can feel the evil coming off of her. And so normally we have the art coming this way on the wall, and then we have it coming this way. But the Maleficent, I have her in the lower right corner, and I have her facing the other way against the Howard Finsters. And as I like to say, if she gets out of hand, Howard Finster will melt her. So why do you like the evil characters so much, and what can you tell us about that?
I think I just always liked the bad guys, and I've always wanted the bad guys to win, just for once. What would happen if the bad guy won? Would the world be better off? You don't know. I like to see that story, right? And also the bad guy usually has a little more pizzazz in the character, right? A little more personality. And so, and with the Disneys, typically the characters are portrayed as old, fat, non-beautiful. And so
Ursula.
Ursula, for example, Madame Medusa, you go down the line, Cinderella's. Outside of the evil queen, who was beautiful, you know, the portrayal of the evil women did not flatter me, right? Why can't
Cruella de Vil.
Cruella de Vil.
Oh, she's kind of cute.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, but in the cartoon, she's bony and ugly.
Not as cute.
Yes, so the idea, like, why can't these women also be beautiful, right? Just because they're evil, they still be beautiful, right? Or they
I would agree with that.
So that's the idea of you know, modernizing them to just, you know, let them have their due. They can be attractive, they can be sexy, they can have the tattoos and be a villain on top of it all. They don't have to be, again, the stereotype of being what they've had over the years.
Well, art very much is about beauty, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And so, you know, I know a different gallery in Chicago had recently done an Angels and Devils show. And I lean a little bit more towards the angels with my Howard Finster art. And again, I guess we have Maleficent. We put Baby in the corner, kind of, you know, over there, facing off to the Reverend in case she gets out of line. She'll be melted. Also in Goodfellas, Jimmy Conway, the Robert De Niro character, Jimmy was the kind of guy who rooted for the bad guys in the movies. So I guess that makes you the Jimmy Conway character.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to see him win. What would happen if the bad guy won? I didn't see that movie, that's all.
Well, it's the Lufthansa heist, and they scored the biggest heist in American history. So, all right. And who will be the next icon print?
I'm still thinking about it. Whereas right now I'm finishing up the fast food icons. So I did Burger King, I did Colonel Sanders, I did Ronald McDonald, and so I'm going to be working on Wendy. So it's the idea, again, you have these characters that are selling you really bad product, in general, bad for you for health. So again, it's you're taking these iconic figures and you're like, all right, we all love, I hate clowns, they scare me, but they're using a clown to sell a product that is not healthy for us, right? In general. Same thing with the Burger King. You associate these icons with this food product. And you know, the same thing with the cereal. Eventually you're going to go on the cereal icons as well. Using a cartoon to sell you a product that's not healthy for you.
That's the kind of evil part of the giant corporations there. All right, well, I think we have one more segment. I have a few more things I want to talk to Donald Topp about, and we will see you in a minute. Donald Topp is a Wisconsin-based pop artist. He also happens to be the #1 selling artist here at the David Leonardis Gallery. Recently, we sold our 868th piece in 8 years. They are literally flying out the door. In the series shown here, it's the cartoon tattoo Hipster Girls, and he says that the background images are the pressures on women. So it's really poignant. People seem to get it. Their addition of 10 or less, and he varies the colors in the painting and the background, so each one comes out unique. They look a lot better in your house, and we'll see you here on Paulina Street.
Hi, I'm Jerry Szymanski, attorney at law. I get the job done. When you need an attorney who can get the job done for you in the areas of personal injury, criminal law, DUI, and commercial transactions, you want to call me, the Bulldog, because I get the job done, and I'll get the job done for you. Call me today.
Okay, we are here with Donald Topp, and so Donald, 870 Donald Topps through the David Leonardis Gallery. I could sell Donald Topp art for the rest of my life. Are you planning on continuing doing what you're doing? Have you said all that you want to say, or do you think that you have far more to say? Is probably what I would like to hear, and that you will continuing to make art for the foreseeable future?
Well, I plan on making art till I'm no longer breathing. What that'll look like, I don't know. Yeah, I still got a few more things to say. How I say that change forms. I worked from the beginning in my 20s. It's totally different than I did in my 30s. And then I'll leave it at that. As time changes, you know, I think art is a reflection of what you're going through at the time. That's how I perceive it. And again, everything is to how I perceive it. Everybody has their own interpretation of art. So my first stuff in the early 20s was basically drug, sex, rock and roll. And I got in my 30s and got a little more political, social commentary, became more aware of things. Things happened to me that changed my perspective. Now I'm older with kids, and now I'm seeing things that differently because now I have to like manage the world around them as well. And seeing the problems that we're dealing with the kids, and I'm starting to probably start showing the artwork, hence the fast food, cartoon characters, using and selling us food, because we're struggling with nutrition with my kids, to say the least. We're struggling with YouTube stuff with my kids. Not just us, but you know, as parents, we all get together and we all complain about the same thing. And so again, it's a reflection of what you're going through as an artist, and then again, I'm an observer of my world, and then I present that to you in a visual form.
Right on. So you provide a lot of content. It's really poignant content. I've had just tremendously positive reaction with the Cartoon Tattoo Hipster Girls, also the Icon Print series. People like to buy several pieces of art from your several different series. You put them together, and now they have a fantastic addition to their art collection. But it sounds to me like you might veer off into something different. It seems like you've kind of come back around to that popular culture imagery that is satisfying to you. It sounds to me like Donald Topp might suddenly change his style, and so basically you better get them while they're here.
Yes, I agree with that.
And so we're here, but our shoot is done, and I'm going to advocate for collecting more Donald Topp art. I'll be collecting more Donald Topp art. I know Donald Topp's happy that I'm selling it at such a fast clip, and it helps him and his family, and it certainly helps our viewers. I really hope you've enjoyed what we've had to say here, and I thank you for your interest, and we will see you next time.